Yo, what it is, everybody? I'm back. Hi. Yes, come on, titty bop. Goddamn, you're making me hot. Wop, da wop, da wop, wop. What's going on, everybody? I hope y'all are having a really good Thursday. I know somebody is going to ask me. Yes, the Old Ladies First panel is back tonight. It is on my channel. Ladies first. Ooh, ladies first. Ladies first. Okay, listen. I got a couple of topics, not a lot. We shouldn't be here that long, but y'all know how I say that, and then we end up being here long. So pray for us, okay? I do want to start off with the more serious topic that I came here to discuss, and then we can go back into, less serious topics. But I wanted to play hold up, okay. First of all, Neek at Night. Shout out to fellow content creator Neek at Night. She was covering the Carmelo Anthony case, right? One of the people going down to the courthouse to make sure that the boy was all right. Okay, so that we would know what was going on with the boy. All right. Apparently, just like at the Diddy trial, y'all were attacking people or surveilling people outside the courthouse during this trial. Content creator Neek at Night says that she was faced intimidation during the proceedings of the trial. In a series of posts, Neek says that a woman and a man have been following her movements at the courthouse, recording her, monitoring her video, parking near her during breaks. She also claimed the man openly displayed a firearm and that courthouse officials have not addressed her concerns. The Black Panthers have also stepped in to offer her some form of protection.
I'm okay. I just got worked up. I'm all right. Anyways, I came here to cover a trial, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm gonna give y'all a quick update. We only have a little bit. So far there has been 3 witnesses. Um the first one.
Oh my God. Sis, go calm down and come back. She said after the morning break yesterday, the man in black waited near my car and recorded which car I got into with his phone. On the next break, him and the white woman parked next to my car and were sitting in the car when I came out the courthouse at lunchtime break. He has been there all week, mad dogging me. And yesterday was the first day I noticed him flaunting his firearm. I moved my car from next to them, as these are clear attempts at intimidation at the courthouse. Attempts at intimidation. The courthouse is doing nothing about it and allowing this woman to do this. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. The people at the courthouse are expected to protect the courthouse, inside the courthouse, not outside the courthouse. I think it's fucked up, but this is what happens most of the time, which is why I'm always so nervous when the content creators go out there to do their thing, which I respect that y'all are, being real journalists. Y'all are trying to get out there and get the firsthand information. This is 2026. You know what I mean? So everything is not going to be through organized news anymore. It's going to be through individual content creators that, take on these stories. And so I think it's very unfortunate. Also, y'all know there were protests outside of the courthouse. Um, there are things going on both sides. I saw Dwight Thompson, or is it Dwight Thomas? I think it's Dwight Thomas. He talked about and he posted a video of Austin Metcalf's father calling Carmelo Anthony a watermelon felon. And I'm like, y'all were never that bright as a people. But now that I'm older, do you know how like immature and dumb and just stupid and low IQ, as y'all like to say, it is to try to make fun of somebody for eating a food? It's just very childish, and you realize now that grown adult people came up with that shit. Grown adult racist people, but this how you shows there's a mental retardation that happens in the mind and in the brain of a racist, because that's stupid. That's stupid. And y'all know I don't feel like the boy deserved 35 years, because I do feel like in court cases you don't always get the full story. You don't always understand the full emotional background of why things happen, right? But I do want to first of all applaud the people a part of the Black Panther movement, okay, the members who are out there that were protective of Neek as she was doing her job. I am grateful that there are men out there that want to protect women in these situations. So thank y'all for that. Okay. Um because I talk cash money shit about the Black Panther Party, because historically what they, how they were towards the women and all of that. So I'm also gonna draw reference to the fact that they did stand up and protect her at a time where it seems like she absolutely needed protection. Now this is where I want to take this conversation, because Jemele Hill posted this, and I wanted to listen. I wanted to hear her out. Just like I told y'all, I really don't know how to feel on this situation. It's just upsetting in general. For me, whenever there's a racial connotation or unfairness, a disparagement in how things take place, there's always an uncomfortable factor and a feeling of powerlessness for me. So I don't like to get involved. But Jemele Hill and some other people have been bringing up the fact that they feel like this is a situation where young boys, young men are not handling conflict in the right manner. And this is how you end up in situations like this. And I'm like, oh, so y'all raising the boys to feel like they have something to prove because their manhood is attached to how brutal they can be to other people, right? And that's why a lot of the times we have conversations about that on my channel, because I feel like we need to grow out of that. Not saying that, physical force doesn't have a time and a place, but for y'all to attach the mindset of I have something to physically prove, because if I can't physically beat somebody up, I'm not a man. I am not a human. Like I'm something else that doesn't deserve respect. Yeah, I think that y'all need to detach that from the identity of male. Y'all have actually, like, the way y'all put submission and woman together is the way y'all put violence and brutality with maleness. And y'all really have got to do a better job at dealing with that, because that's just terrible. That's it. That's why we are in a lot of situations that we're in, is because people don't know how to calm the fuck down. People don't know how to have conversations. People don't know how to not go to the physical point first. But let me hear what Jemele got to say about this situation.
Let this be a lesson to us, especially to teach our young Black boys, because we have definitely seen this in our community, where the slightest of things has touched off something that can't be reversed. So we need to be having conversation with our young Black boys about emotional regulation and decision making and discernment and wisdom. And those are not easy conversations to have in a world that sees them the way that they do, but we have to have them to save them, to preserve them. We have to have them. Let this be a lesson to us, especially to teach our young Black boys, because we have definitely seen this in our community, where the slightest of things has touched off something that can't be reversed.
Okay. So some of the comments, and Dr. Meredith, I obviously I agree. because I read all the time, you know, about gender studies. And of course, I'm not under the illusion that God told y'all these things. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people think God told these niggas this bullshit. I'm not under that delusion at all. So yeah, no, it absolutely is a gender thing that is pushed off on people. I don't think Jemele is that off, but let me read her the comments under the post. How many lessons do black boys need to be treated fairly? I don't know how, I don't know what you want us, I don't know how to answer that. That doesn't sound that don't make sense to me, because how many lessons do black boys need to be treated fairly? That don't make no sense. I hear what y'all saying about complying. I do. And I'm not 100% off of that, but this is a situation where two teenage boys got into a fight. Do I feel like the white boy probably has been taught that he could treat black people any type of way from his family and all of the racist white people in his environment? Absolutely. Do I feel like black people be tired of biting their tongue and all of that? Absolutely. But you still live in a world where the white people are in control of most of the Constitution. Not the Constitution, institutions. They're in control of most of the institutions. So I then ask y'all, do you really think that a push is deserving of a stab in the heart? I don't know. I don't feel like this is a situation where, because I thought, you know what I'm saying, and I could be wrong because I'm not sure, but what I did hear was that, and this is from what people were saying about the other people that were there when the fight happened. The guy pushed him, and then Carmelo pulls out a knife and stabs him in the heart. Whereas I thought it might have been like, you know, you was getting your ass beat or something like that, and you had to defend yourself because he like, you know, on you. I don't know. I also, again, feel like there's always a racial connotation to things. Like I said, I do believe that this boy and his family probably were racist. But I also feel like y'all act like black boys are, like they don't have to think about these things. And I think that's some 2026 shit. Unless y'all gonna, you know, what y'all gonna do? Because he's the one that's in jail now for 35 years. And I swear to God, I think that's way too long. And I really hope they're able to lessen that charge or repeal it or something. Because I don't feel like he should be in jail for 35 years for this situation. However, somebody pushes you, you stab them. I don't know. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that another content creator did a breakdown explaining that fight to y'all. Y'all hurry up and leave and go watch her. I feel like sometimes when I don't say the things that people want me to say, it's always, well, there's another content creator that you can go watch that'll tell you exactly what you want to hear. Like, all right, man. But let me go to a reputable source, just right quick, right fast, to see if I can get the details on the Carmelo Anthony situation. You know, because like I said, I'm not saying that there isn't a undercurrent, right, of racism. But I also feel like y'all do raise these boys to be like overly violent, like across the board. The white boys and the black boys are being raised to be violent. That is a part of the bigger conversation that motherfuckers don't want to have. Let me see. The stabbing occurred at a track meet at the Memorial High School tent in David Kuyenkindle, Kai Kendall Stadium? Girl, I guess. At approximately 10 a.m. on April 2nd, 2025. The altercation started when the track and field championship event was delayed due to thunderstorms and heavy downpours. Anthony, who had entered Memorial's tent, was told to move out of the tent by Hunter Metcalf, Austin's twin brother. Austin then confronted Anthony, which this sounds like bullying. During the argument that ensued, Anthony allegedly said, "Touch me and see what happens," while reaching his hand in his backpack. According to a witness, Metcalf then grabbed Anthony to move him. Another witness in the Frisco police arrest report stated Austin and Anthony went back and forth, and then Austin stood up and pushed Anthony to get him out of the tent. In response, Anthony pulled out a black knife from the backpack and stabbed Metcalf once in the chest before running away. So that's what it says online. After being stabbed, Metcalf ran down the bleachers, grabbing his chest and telling those around him to get help. When police arrived, he was not conscious or breathing, and athletic trainers were performing chest compressions on him. Austin Metcalf was pronounced dead minutes after arriving in the hospital. According to the arrest officer, when told to keep his hands in the air, Anthony said, "I was protecting myself." The affidavit states he was emotional and crying hysterically after he was arrested. The officer then communicated to others that he had Anthony in custody, to which he responded, "I am not alleged. I did it." As he was being escorted to the police car, Anthony reportedly said, "He put his hands on me. I told him not to." While he was sitting in the backseat of the police car, he asked the Metcalf, "Is he going to be okay?" And asked the officer if what he did could be considered self-defense. Anthony and his family were attacked online due to allegations that they bought a car with $900,000 in a $900,000 house with donated funds. According to Snopes, the family had not withdrawn any money from donations, and these claims appear to originate with a story from the Daily Mail. Shortly after Metcalf's death, an ex-account impersonating the Frisco police chief began spreading misinformation in a fake autopsy report. The post gained millions of views on Twitter and other social media platforms. So there's been, I think, a concerted effort to make this situation be more of a stressor on already, heightened race relations right now. Y'all know how I feel like they kept trying to get us to come out into the streets and boycott so that they can lock us up and all of that. This feels like a situation like that, where they're trying to use this boy and what happened with this boy, with both of these boys. They're trying to use that situation in order to get black people out in the street so y'all can have an excuse to kill us. That's what this also reminds me of. But yeah, I do see y'all coming into the comments, and I feel like y'all are like actively lying, or y'all are spreading misinformation in my comments, and I really don't appreciate that. So I went and read the shit off Wikipedia, okay? I read the shit off Wikipedia. Yes, Wikipedia can sometimes be edited. Please don't misunderstand me. But a lot of times when it's a case like this, I can go to it and just get the rundown of what went down, okay? I was not in the courtroom. But what I will say is, based on what Wikipedia said, sounds like they were bullying him. And he pulled out a knife and stabbed him in order to prove a point. I'm not saying that I don't understand. I do still feel like 35 years is excessive. But I also feel like y'all need to teach all of these kids to calm the fuck down and to know when to hold them and when to fold them. And understand that you're not going to get treated fairly, honey. I told y'all that yesterday. I just said that you can edit Wikipedia. I just said that. You're not saying anything that I didn't say. Why do I have to go to AP? Like, I don't feel like going to AP. Y'all, I'm not about to do this with y'all. If y'all would like to go and create content about this story, if y'all would like to, make videos and lives about a story that I didn't even want to cover, but people keep asking me to talk about, please go ahead and do that for yourselves, okay? I am exhausted of this because I already feel like people are in the comments doing the most already. I'm done with it. Anyway, moving on. Where do I want to go to next? Oh, let's go to DeAndre. I've been wanting to see DeAndre talk. All right. So let's get into another topic because enough is enough. No one wants to hear about the devastation men feel when we cheat. All right, y'all. So the reason why I want to you see what they doing, right? So the reason why I wanted to talk about Dondre Whitfield is because, first of all, I'm sad that his wife is straight. Let's just start there. Sally Richardson is, if you ever seen Sally Richardson in Biker Boys, you know why I'm saying what I'm saying right now. Okay. But Dondre did an interview a couple of months back with his wife. Do y'all remember that interview? And I covered it. And I felt like, what the fuck is this, Dondre? Why does it feel like you're like emotionally blackmailing your wife on the tiki-taki? And then I started hearing from people about how Dondre was actually one of the really good husbands and he don't play about his wife. And it's like, yeah, but that's not what I saw during that interview. And then he did this interview with Shan Booty, okay? And I love me some Shan Booty. So I wanted to go ahead and get into this, okay?
I don't think that people ever truly hear about the devastation that guys feel when they cheat, because we are built to have answers. You cheat because you don't have answers. No one wants to hear about our devastation when we cheat because you caused devastation, but it doesn't mean that you aren't devastated. Because if we're being honest, nobody gives a shit about how men feel. They don't. They don't.
And I feel like Dondre just followed me not too long ago. This is why you have to be okay with celebrities liking you and then not liking you, following you and then unfollowing you. Because Dondre, let's stop right there. When I tell y'all I cannot stand when black men say to black women or to women, period, that nobody cares about how they feel, because it's the dumbest shit that anybody has ever said before. Women aren't even allowed to fully express themselves and live their lives the way they would like to because they have to think about men. Every fucking man, the invisible man that they're gonna marry eventually, the boyfriend that they already have. They gotta think about the other niggas that might think something, that might tell somebody something, that might try to fuck them, that might try to cause them to get raped like they, Diamond Little Cousin on the Players Club or some shit like that. Everybody cares about what everybody cares about what y'all think and what y'all feel, especially the women that y'all get on top of. So when y'all say shit like this, it really aggravates me because I feel like who y'all feel like really don't care about how men feel is y'all daddies. That's who really don't care about how men feel. Y'all fucking daddies. Y'all daddies didn't care how y'all felt. Stop saying that shit. Like everybody you've ever been with has shown up as somebody that told a man, nobody gives a fuck about how you feel. That's not true.
Don't care about what did we do to our own life when we cheated. So if we were to start somewhere, we should start in the space of, listen to me. I know that I taught you that you shouldn't cheat because you're going to devastate a girl or devastate a woman. But here's really why you shouldn't cheat. You're going to destroy your life. You're going to destroy your spirit. You are supposed to be the leader of this family, and you're supposed to help lead this union.
How about my thing? Once I realized that cheating was apparently a thing, my thing was to make it so that it wasn't a thing. You want to be with somebody for a long ass time? Accept the fact that at some point they might want to fuck with somebody else. Learn how to accept that. I don't know. Stretch. I know it's a stretch for a lot of y'all. Y'all rather just get cheated on over and over again and cry and complain. I would much rather get to a point where I feel like, hey, if you feel like you want to do something, just say some shit. Protect yourself. Don't have me out here looking crazy. It's very, very simple. Because I don't think people are supposed to be monogamous anyway. I think y'all have been brainwashed to think that y'all are supposed to be monogamous or that y'all want to be monogamous, but it's your socialization. And if you didn't have all the socializations that have been applied to you over the years, whether it's the STDs you're afraid you're going to catch, or how other people look at you, or how you view your own purity as a sign that you are more saved or more valuable than the next person.
Here's what's going to happen when you cheat. Here's what's going to happen to you. You are going to see you differently. You are going to experience you differently. You are going.
It is man and woman in this context because he's using being a man as a leader in order to mind fuck men into thinking that think better of yourself, big guy. Think better of yourself, big guy. Yeah, I know they told you don't hurt the woman, but fuck her. You're gonna hurt yourself. It's another, I feel like, male-centered way of trying to mind fuck men into not fucking over their families and their lives.
Going to be devastated because we are pre-wired to feel like the hero in the spaces that we inhabit. There's nothing heroic about you cheating and letting not only your partner down, but more importantly, letting you down.
Why do you need to feel like men? Y'all listen. I don't know. It's some things about the socialization of men that I will never really understand. For instance, y'all always feeling like y'all need to be somebody's fucking savior. Y'all need to come, y'all need to lead. Y'all need to be at the head of something. The fairy tales have really gotten to y'all's heads.
I don't think that people ever truly hear about the devastation that guys feel when they cheat, because we are built to have answers. You cheat because you don't have answers. No one wants to hear about our devastation when we cheat because you caused devastation, but it doesn't mean that you aren't devastated. Because if we're being honest, nobody gives a shit about how men feel. They don't. They don't care about what did we do to our own life.
I don't know. I mean, you saying that nobody gives a shit about how men feel, but you're putting it in the framework of after I've hurt you, after I've, basically mentally and emotionally fucked over you, and now you all fucked up. Now I'm saying, kind of in a fucked up manner, that you don't care about how I feel about how I hurt you. When at the end of the day, nobody else has to care about that. You need to care about that. If cheating on your wife ruins your life, then I guess that's something you need to work out. But the idea that other people are supposed to be caring about that is also like how y'all center yourselves in everything. And you don't even realize that you center yourselves in every fucking thing. Even how you hurt somebody else. How are you centering yourself and how you cheated on somebody else?
When we cheated. So if we were to start somewhere, we should start in the space of, listen to me. I know that I taught you that you shouldn't cheat because you're going to devastate a girl or devastate a woman. But here's really why you shouldn't cheat. You're going to destroy your life. You're going to destroy your spirit. You are supposed to be the leader of this family, and you're supposed to help lead this union.
These are what the comments say. No one talks about how when we cheat, it's so hard on us. Shout out to Sunny. She heard it. Bikini Bianca, I be seeing her in the comments all the time. She said he spoke real. Did y'all actually watch the whole video? He spoke about how it devastates a woman, but also devastates the man and ruins a man's spirit and life in general. It's a bad thing to do for many reasons, not just hurting your woman. We heard him. We heard the whole video, but we also know how men like to center themselves and think about themselves in every fucking instance. And it's crazy for you to be thinking about how devastated you are in a decision that you made that hurt somebody else and how nobody cares about that as if they're supposed to. That's your cross to bear, in my opinion. Where's the other clip? Because there was another clip, girl, of Dondre just talking and saying stuff. Let me see if I can find it. I love Shan. Shan just always creates really, really great conversations on her podcast. So shout out to Shan. Shan Booty. All right, hold up. Maybe I didn't save, or maybe, I don't know. Let me look at it.
I don't think...
But I do feel like on some level, Dondre is one of those guys that seem like such a good guy, but some of the most like fucked up manipulative men are the good guys.
You need me, whether you tell me or not. I don't think people ever hear about the devastation that guys feel.
All right, that's just let me see.
When I give to my son now, I give to my son in honor of my father. Because no, he didn't.
Is he gonna cry? Somebody said that.
He didn't get what he needed. And now, when I give my son what he needs, and I don't apologize for crying, because
You shouldn't.
if God didn't want me to cry, he wouldn't have given me tear ducts. And so what I want all of my brothers,
Just like if God didn't want women to have pleasure when they have sex, God wouldn't have gave you a clitoris.
to see is, this is what healthy manhood looks like. And for all of my sisters out there who want a man with emotional intelligence, are you woman enough to receive this when it happens?
Yeah, y'all, this is such a fine line, because listen, in one breath, y'all, I am very aware of how women say they want emotionally intelligent men, but a lot of women are so groomed into our misogynistic, sexist society that they only view attractive men as men that are not emotionally intelligent. The stoicism, the lack of emotion, the brute force of it all. Not most, but a lot of women, especially like New Orleans girls, and I'm saying that because that's people I know and I'm around, a lot of them like toxicity. Even if they know it's not good for them and they want to get away from it, they know it mentally, but emotionally, it's so what they're used to. It is what they're attracted to. And so when a new man comes into their life, love bombing them, showing them something slightly different than what the last nigga showed them, then they'll say, oh, this is the guy now. And then they'll go through this whole cycle all over again. So while I do see a lot of toxicity in the way women relate to men, which y'all expect from men, how y'all view men, y'all do make it hard for men not to be in boxes. You do. You do. But at the same time, men have a tendency to use their tears to manipulate women. They have a tendency to use their emotions as a weight to place on women. That's why men have to be so careful when they cry, because, and just like parents have to be so careful when they cry. If you have a hierarchical idea about relationships, the person that is on top, when they start crying, the person below them all the time is always like, oh my God, you're hurting. To me, it happens with children. Right? If you had a parent that was always unloading on you all their emotions, do you know how you become so hypersensitive and you learn how to suck up your tears so that you can hold room for theirs? It is the same thing with men and women, because it's a hierarchical relationship. It's not balanced. It's not balanced. And so when you come to her with your tears, when you come to her with your emotions, you have to be very careful not to become a soul suck and emotional manipulator that are just trying to get this woman to do what you want her to do based off your tears versus based off of your, physical strength. I need for us to, get clear, because it's a fine line, y'all. It's a fine line. And that's another thing. That's a good point too, Tamara. Men don't need permission to pillage, destroy, and cause destruction. Yet managing and expressing their own emotions is so hard, I don't buy it. It is though. It is though. And I'm going to tell you why it's hard and why you should buy it. At least this part of it. It's because it's the way they're trained up. When it comes to the violence and the chaos and destroying shit, they get patted on the back for that. That is a behavior that they get positive reinforcement behind. People being scared of them having control, gets them validation from other men around them. From the time they are young boys to their well in adulthood, my OG and all of that, everything is always predicated off the fear that man was able to incite, or the respect, or how well that man was liked. And y'all know it's not that hard. So for me, when it comes to like being able to handle your emotions, a lot of times y'all didn't even let young boys learn how to handle their emotions. You tell people to suppress their emotions. You do it to girls too, but girls don't have the same confines on our emotions all the time. Not as a whole. I feel like white women are allowed to cry. Black women, not as much. But because we are women and the way we are taught about what it is to be a woman or even to be a man is to not be crying, not be emotional. For black women, we started to get told to suck that shit up from our parents and from this idea that we have to appear strong for everybody because crying is weak. Everybody feels like crying is weak, men and women in the black community. So when men, and like I said earlier in the video when we were talking about Carmelo Anthony, you do align males' identity. A male's identity has to be aligned with how much brute force he can cause, how much he can get over on a woman, how many women he can get, how many asses he can beat, how much money can he make. It's never really off the type of person he is because he's allowed to pretend to be whoever the fuck he wants to be as long as he can beat somebody's ass, make some money, or fuck a bunch of women. That's all y'all teach boys and men to be able to do because anything outside of that is feminine and gay. Crying, talking about feelings, expressing feelings, writing shit down in order to understand your feelings, all of that y'all say is feminine. And the only thing the boys are being taught, don't be feminine. That's why. That's the reason why it's not bullshit. That's the reason why, as a woman, I feel like it is very important to hold space for men, boys specifically, in how they handle their emotions, not to ask them to shut it down and suppress it, but to talk about it. From a very early age, getting them to express how they feel instead of telling them that when they cry or when they, express any amount of discomfort, they're acting like a little girl. I can't tell you how many times I've seen you young, ignorant bitches on the internet telling y'all sons to stop crying because that's them acting like a girl. Where do you think that goes in grown men? They grow up understanding that the best way to express themselves is through money and violence and entertainment and sex, of course. That's why they be beating up the girls' coochies, getting all their frustrations out on this. However, I never forget my Uncle Robert Townsend. He's not my biological uncle, but spiritually, he is my uncle. The nigga helped raise me. And there's a scene right before the white people come in and ruin everything, like they like to do. They're in the car, in the 5 Heartbeats. They've been doing this tour, and they in a car, okay, doing a chitlin circuit in a motherfucking car. And JT is the most charismatic and the most pussiest getting this motherfucker in this group, okay? He's got a kunk. Dark-skinned nigga with a kunk, okay? And a lot of sex appeal. And JT tells them, if a woman ever catch me up lying, I just break out and cry at the drop of a hat. And then that'll make her give me some because she gonna feel sorry for me. And then if she tells somebody that I cry for her, I just say she lied. I will never forget that scene. That stuck with me my entire life, that men are going to weaponize their emotions against me. They're going to use their emotions in order to get me to put my comfort behind me and put their comfort in front of me because they're a man and they're not supposed to be crying. So if they are crying, oh my God, please let me catch your tears with my hands and put them in a jar and save them like Crybaby or some shit. Listen, Leon's walk alone. What? When I tell y'all, I feel like Leon as a man, when it comes to like mannerisms, I feel like that nigga needs to be studied. Because I feel like he's one of those men that y'all forget that the most attractive men are usually the ones that are not as like hard up masculine. Even buku muscles and all of that shit. Nah, lean meat. Okay, the muscle go down. Okay, it don't go out, it go down. You know what I'm saying? The nigga would he walk like, look, I don't know what's going on. All I know is I want it. I don't know what's going on, okay? The nigga coming down like, I'm not gonna do this with y'all. Getting back into DeAndre.
Instead of judge it for being weakness? Or do you recognize it for being human? This is how I honor my father. By giving my son healthy manhood and humanity.
You know why? You know why? Because women start off caring about those things, and men will basically spit in your face and then cry and expect you to care about their emotions.
If we get our fathers to lock in with their sons, to know that everything is about being of service, we will create more men that are matriculated into manhood and that feel greater spaces of intimacy. And they become better husbands, they become better fathers, they become better lovers, they become better friends.
The key to this is gonna be y'all to stop expecting that everybody that donates sperm is gonna be able to be this type of father. Me personally, I feel like the men that actually would be good fathers and all of that, we need to go back to like a tribal way of being, right? Before y'all could do DNA test and figure out who the fuck the daddy was. I feel like the man that was the father of the tribe was somebody that was chosen based on how he showed up in the tribe. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the father figure needs to be somebody that wants that job, that is good at that job, that cares about doing that job. And I don't think you giving somebody sperm or shooting up somebody's club or getting fucked up and having a one-night stand means you should be somebody's daddy. And as long as y'all are expecting every nigga that comes inside of a woman to show up in this father capacity, you're going to keep getting your fucking feelings hurt. You're going to keep being disappointed.
But we got to get them to lock in on that. And watch this. We first got to start.
Yes, they do need to unlearn that they're supposed to be leaders. They really, I feel like the problem with men is that y'all are not allowing the ego death to actually break y'all down to rebuild y'all. Because y'all still say some of the same shit, right? Dondre will come off in this video so ahead and so, caring and emotionally aware. But at the same time, you speak in a way that means you still think you're supposed to be the head of something simply because you're a man. And when you think that, you're bullshitting yourself. You're deluding yourself. It affects the way you see the woman as somebody that needs to always just be listening to you. No, you need to lead yourself. Maybe you need to help lead children. But the idea that a man is supposed to be leading a family as a head of something instead of as a part of a whole, no. I think y'all need to get out of that. I think y'all need to get out of that, y'all.
Asking ourselves, are these dads equipped with those skill sets first? Because your father can't give you what he was never given. What happens to you when you feel the shame of not having all of those answers?
And you don't have a dad to go to.
And you don't have what I call a navigation system. Because that's what a father is to a boy. He's a navigation system. I gave this analogy to my son one day, and I said, hey, listen, when we get in the car, we're headed somewhere, what's the first thing that dad does? Turn on the navigation system. Why? He said, so you know where you're going. I said, actually, no. The vast majority of the time when we go somewhere, I actually know where I'm going. But the navigation system knows a bunch of things that I don't know. And it's giving me all of that information in order for me to better navigate the space, in order for me to make better decisions about how we arrive. Because I can know one route, but it may know a better route in order for me to get around all of the stuff that's going to hinder our progress. I am your navigation system. If we get our
I need to hear
fathers
it again.
to lock it.
Because I'm sorry, I got caught up by Judge Lauren Lake. Real. Y'all, Judge Lauren Lake is one of them women that just said, she's just, The misogyny in the things that she says sometimes is just so aggravating because they be right there. They be right there, but they still are convinced that men are in some seat above women. And I'm like, oh my God, y'all, please, talking about paternity matters. Does it?
In with their sons to know that
Does the paternity test matter? I'm sorry, I don't think it does. I think whoever raises the children, I think that's who matters.
everything is about being of service. We will create more men that are matriculated into manhood and that feel greater spaces of intimacy. And they become better husbands. They become better fathers. They become better lovers. They become better friends. But we got to get them to lock in on that. And watch this. We first got to start asking ourselves, are these dads equipped with those skill sets first?
No, of
Because
course they're
your
not.
father can't give you what he was never given. What happens to you when you feel the shame of not having all of those answers?
And you don't have a dad to go to.
When you don't have the answers, like the lady said in the book, I mean, you can Google it, you can read books, you can seek out resources. You can talk to your wife. I don't know. But I feel like God put everything down here for you to get the answers that you need. And sometimes I think y'all just don't want the answers from who they come from, which is usually a woman. In situations like Dondre, your best shit came from your wife, and because you think you're better than her, you ignored what she said until you heard it in a way or from somebody that you actually respected.
And you don't have what I call a navigation system, because that's what a father is to a boy. He's a navigation system. I gave this analogy to my son one day, and I said, hey, listen, when we get in the car, we're headed somewhere. What's the first thing that dad does? Turn on the navigation system. Why? He said, so you know where you're going. I said, actually, no. The vast majority of the time when we go somewhere, I actually know where I'm going. But the navigation system knows a bunch of things that I don't know. And it's giving me all of that information in order for me to better navigate the space, in order for me to make better decisions about how we arrive. Because I can know one route, but it may know a better route in order for me to get around all of the stuff that's going to hinder our progress. I am your navigation system.
That's a good way to talk to your son, especially because let me tell y'all what y'all do as parents. Y'all tell kids to do one thing and then they watch you do another. And then you say dumb shit like do as I say and not as I do. It's not how that works. Children are learning your behavior based on watching your behavior. It's stupid when y'all say shit like that. But to me, it sounds like what you say to your son so that you can understand, your son understands you don't know everything. You don't know everything. And I am trying to teach you, and you're going to have your sense of knowing, but please trust that I have a larger perspective sometimes. So sometimes I'm going to know what you know, but I'm also going to know more because I've had the experience. I can see things from a higher purview because I'm older and I've been here longer. That is a good way to explain something to your son. Absolutely.
If we get you need me, whether you tell me or not.
I need to hear this thing
I don't
again.
think people ever hear about the devastation that guys feel when they cheat. I think about my young self being in a position to lead, and I don't have the answers.
How do you make men who don't cheat? You said that you had a really cool way that you're teaching your son.
The same rules implemented for our daughter, who's 21 years old and who's in a beautifully committed relationship, are the same rules that we have for our son. I put my finger on the moment between me and my father when I was about 11 or 12 years old. The cheater in me was born in that moment. What I give to my son now, I give to my son in honor of my father, because I know he didn't.
Yeah, they got a good editor down there to the Sham Booty podcast. Nah, it looks like a really good conversation. I would want to know, what more he would have to say, but I also feel like he's highly manipulative. he's highly manipulative to some degree. And I don't want to shit on Dondre, because I don't want to shit on men when I feel like they are attempting to do the right thing, but they just don't have the full picture, because they're men and they have a blind spot of feeling like they always know better than women. You see what I'm saying? So let me see right quick. I just want to go on.
We've been together 21 years. You gonna have to forgive each other for things, huge things.
Yep.
And things that you thought maybe when you were dating somebody, if this and blah blah, and I ain't gonna da. Listen, at this point, I know he got. I shouldn't even say at this point. I'm like at 21.
Yeah, because it's sounding, based on what he said, it sounded like the nigga was cheating on you through your marriage. That's what it sounded like. That this nigga was cheating on your fine ass. That's what it sounded like. Which I don't know why people think that a woman being beautiful means she's not gonna get cheated on. Monogamy is not natural. I'm sorry.
After all this time, we were talking about a couple who
I know exactly.
had been through a lot of cheating and all this stuff. I said, well,
Oh, y'all was talking about somebody else, huh? Clean it up.
point, if you did something, I don't know. I'm pot committed. I just gonna have to be mad at you for a long time and torture you as long as you didn't have another family.
Right.
If you had a family with some kids, or
Right.
this has
You
been
got
some
another life.
long-term.
So this is women coming to the table already understanding that the nigga might cheat and kind of creating an internal, kind of shield against being broken by such a thing. What ends up happening, I feel on some level, is that the men are actually trying to devastate you on some level. I do think that some men that cheat, they might cheat out of their own issues, right? Like he said, it started with his dad. But I think what ends up happening is whatever you lack and your partner doesn't lack, you start to be mad at your partner because of how they're able to show up in a way that you are not. The self-control that they have, that you don't have, but you feel like you're supposed to have. And so your cheating becomes a tool to punish your partner for being a better partner than you. I think that's a thing that men actually do. Y'all tell me in the comments if y'all think I'm tripping.
I
They
don't
got a
know.
family in Vegas.
You spending my money on somebody, but if something happened, I don't know. That's not a go get out of free, but I don't know. After all these years, we're gonna have to figure it out. I know that's awful. Don't.
No, it's very awful. Look how she instantly went to try to fix that shit. Nah, bitch, you said it and he know it. And I understand because sometimes, again, you understand that people are going to go and have sex. It's the way they do it. It's how they do it. Like, it's the other components of it. So I understand it. But I also wish if that were the case, y'all would not allow for this thing to take place where it seems like we forgive the men, but we don't forgive the women. We want to force monogamy on everybody, but that's not what's actually happening in the marriages. Like, just be fucking for real, bruh.
Do any of that.
It's so funny
I'm
when
just
she
saying,
said it, I
he
was like,
what?
What? I was like, does that mean I can't?
I'm like, no,
what?
you can't. But what am I going? I don't know. What am I going? Like, hey, kids, we gotta go. He met some hoe and had a one night stand, and now our whole life is blown
Baby,
up.
Your dad met a hoe, and now.
And now,
What?
I don't know.
No, you wouldn't leave your house. You would make his ass leave. But, back in the day, niggas had self-respect, right? Even though they cheated on their wives, they would leave. If you cheated on your wife and you got caught and that lady said, get outside, nigga, you gonna leave. Nowadays, niggas not leaving. Nowadays, niggas are not leaving, y'all. They're not leaving. They're gonna stay there until you leave. Nigga, you cheated on me. Okay, hold up. This looks like another...
Lots going around social media around relationships in general. And Dondre Whitfield, who I love, has lately been talking about his new book that he's selling, Male versus Men. So he says that males look to be served where men look to be of service. Mm-hmm. Males have the shinier stuff, that they make the most noise, and that traditionally is what attracts women. But the men are looking to figure out how do they best come to you, attract you, show you the value, and want to marry you. Mm-hmm. So the goal is to help women to understand how do you distinguish and what you can actually get and the difference of dating a male versus a man.
Girl, it's so easy.
Lot-
It's so easy to spot a fuck ass nigga nowadays. I mean, it is so easy, girl.
And everybody there.
Are you allowed to walk through our shop?
Why y'all acting like that wasn't a joke? I'm trying to see if I can find that old clip from that interview that they did not too long ago that I talked to y'all about. Creep on in. I got 5 on it. Oops. Oh, I'm squeaky. I got 5 on it. I'm with that and no weed.
There are too many sisters who don't do this with their man. We're going to kill ourselves for you to get what you want. I die a slow death whenever I hear women say that they can't submit. And the reason why I say that is because two reasons. Number one, you already tell me what kind of woman you are spiritually when you tell me that you can't submit to your man. First of all, you chose him.
What is it called when people use spiritual attacks in arguments or in conversations, y'all? Because that keeps coming up. People acting as if they know better in the spiritual realm and that they have some type of understanding of spirit that other people don't have. So you saying that a woman that says that she's not submissive, you're already letting me know where you are spiritually? How dare you? It really feels like, how dare you? How dare you, brainwashed, emotional weakling, tell some woman that you know where she is spiritually as if she's beneath you because she won't submit. The way you make it seem like a person is undeserving because they won't okay their own subjugation, they won't agree to their own subjugation. You're beneath me because you won't agree. You're beneath me because you won't agree to be beneath me. What? Like, it is and I say it's a spiritual because they say it's a spiritual thing, but it's almost like just throwing words at you that are meant to be daggers, words that are meant to hurt, words that are meant to stay with you until later, right? Because if a man says some shit like that, some degrading shit to you like that, you might think about that for the rest of the day, that a man just told you that he was able to dire the depths of your spirituality based on how you're allowing somebody to subjugate you. Because you wanting you wanting a woman to submit is you subjugating her. But you think if she agrees to it, that means it's better. Because I think y'all think that spiritually. Spiritually, y'all think as long as you get the woman's consent to subjugate her, then that makes it all the better. I've actually heard how that is a turn on for some men. The idea that, and I'm talking about like even just in BDSM, the idea that the woman will agree to allowing you to hurt her or allowing you to do whatever you want to do to her is a turn on within itself for some men. I think the shit is sadistic, but who am I?
There are too many sisters who don't do this with their man. We're going to kill ourselves for you to get what you want. I die a slow death whenever I hear women say that they can't submit. And the reason why I say that is because two reasons. Number one, you already tell me what kind of woman you are spiritually when you tell me that you can't submit to your man. First of all, you chose him. So that's not a him problem. That's a you problem because you chose him.
But wait, are we submitting to each other? Am I submitting to him?
Hold on. I'm getting ready to get. Hold on. I'm going to give it to you right now. Watch this.
I know.
No.
Watch this.
We're submitting to each other. We're submitting to the mission. Because now watch this. If you tell me that you can't submit to me when all I do all day every day is submit to you. Let me ask you a question, Mike. Who sets the thermostat in your house?
I do.
Okay. Who is the one who makes the primary decisions about comfort in the house?
I do.
You do that? Okay, so who?
Men will allow you to dictate things that they don't give a fuck about and then use it later on to prove that they love you because they're allowing you to dictate something. He doesn't even and that's what I'm like constantly starting to hear right now, y'all. I'm constantly starting to hear the way men are placing themselves above women in just regular conversation, because you have to think that you're above her because you feel like you're allowing her to set the thermostat in the house. And so that should be seen as you submitting to her because you're not fighting her on every little thing in the house. So because I'm not fighting you on every little thing in the house, I'm submitting to you. So that means you have to submit to me in the moments where I ask you to. It feels like emotional blackmail, dressed up in religiosity.
Is the person that normally, under normal circumstances, are you more worried about her comfort or is she more worried about your comfort?
It goes both ways.
Okay. Would you say that you're more worried about, would you say that you're more worried about her being comfortable?
Definitely.
Of course.
Definitely.
Of course. Wait. I'm helping all of this. What I'm saying to you is that we submit to the comfort of our wives all day, every day.
And
that's the way it's supposed to be.
It is, but
Okay.
So you should.
I'm not arguing. I
So
agree.
now it should be a dance.
So let me say this. I stand in agreement. There's not been one thing said here thus far that I disagree with, except for the fact.
Why does she even have to say that? Because if you think that she disagrees with you just because she wants to understand something, that creates another set of hostility. And that also comes from your ego, that anytime somebody disagrees with you, you should be able to be hostile towards them in some capacity because they're not seeing it your way.
That I believe that many people frown, like right when you said the word submission.
Submit.
We have some people like, well, hell.
Of course.
Yep.
But many people frown because they're afraid of the word submission, as if it means that I should diminish myself. Be
That's exactly what it means. That's exactly what it means.
less of myself.
That's not what submit means.
In order for you to accept me as a
It
woman.
is what it
Hold
is.
on.
Go ahead.
In order for me to rest in my softness, that means that I have to submit and hand power over. I just want to emphasize that that's not what it means. I think that we struggle early on in our relationship with my interpretation because no one taught me is that that is what it
Bingo.
meant. But when you lead with love,
That's right.
and you really say, you know, what matters more than being right is that we stay together and we believe in what we're building here.
Right.
I can submit, he can submit, we both.
That's another thing. This idea that what needs to be the focus is that y'all stay together is foolishness. I'm going to just be real and say it wasn't until I was ready to actually let go of my marriage that my marriage got better. And in that energy of it can be over whenever, you know what I'm saying, if it needs to be, it always feels like, no, I like it here. Like, that should be the feeling. It should never be, oh my God, I'm so scared that we could break apart. It really needs to be, man, child, we could break apart tomorrow, okay? And we'll both be okay. It'll all be all right. But you know what? I like it better together. I like it better together. That's why I say all the time, you cannot hold on to this fear that y'all staying together forever is the goal. That should not be the goal. Because it's not the goal anyway. One of y'all is going to die first, bitch. Y'all are not going to be together forever anyway. And this concept that people have in their heads is ridiculous. It really, really should be a everyday choice that you're making because you feel it is the best choice to make or because that's the choice you want to make. But this idea that we should, we should throw caution to the wind and only worry about staying in a marriage. Fuck how I feel. Fuck how you feel. Fuck if we happy. Who cares about that? We just have to hold on. Yeah, no, I'm so sorry. Sometimes letting go is the best shit you can do. Sometimes letting go is the best shit you can do. Because women, y'all don't realize this. Y'all let them niggas control y'all like that because y'all don't want to have control of your own shit out of fear of what it looks like when you can't blame somebody else for how your life winds up happening. Because that's what it seems like to me. When you are forced to make your own decisions about your life, you have to be very intentional. You have to know what you want. You have to be clear. And it is so hard sometimes to be clear in a world that just, I feel like, tries to bring you down all the time in everything. It is so hard to be clear on what you want and what you need and what you want your life to look like. How can you even decide what you want your life to look like when everything is survival? And the way they teach you to do things puts you in survival mode. Ignore sex. Ignore any sexual pleasure until you can't do it no more at the height of your fucking hormones as a teenager. Most of y'all get pregnant at the exact same time in teenage life. Those of us, the millennials and the Gen X's that got pregnant, all of us in that age range used to get pregnant around the same time. For most of us, you're getting pregnant between the ages of 16 and 21. And that's how you have children that you have to now stop everything for very early on, not being able to truly decide what's happening in your life because you have to think about somebody else and what's best for them. It's very hard to be clear. And I think a lot of women, you want to have a fairy tale because that's easier for you. Doing something that everybody else is doing, lying about if you're happy or not, just staying in one spot forever, however you see that, that's sometimes easier than being happier, because being happier requires you to get up, make some type of movement, grow, do something that's scary to you, do something that feels like you fighting against gravitational pull, for God's sakes. But if you don't make decisions sometimes for you and you alone, you will regret it. You will regret it. Because what I have seen so much in my life is when women decide to put themselves last, everybody else puts themselves first.
Submit to the relationship.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because we submit to God.
And I'd like to say, because just in case y'all edit this and people go, did you see her go like this in the water?
What are you gonna say?
Because they will see that. Be like, did you see her eyes? It was like that. Early on in our relationship, we both had to learn what that word meant.
Yes.
And what being a man and a husband in a relationship really meant.
Yep.
And what,
Because that's what it is. Everything is everything, y'all. Everything is everything.
that meant for me as a woman, and what maybe, because you're saying that both of you didn't have your fathers in your lives, what you thought manhood was going to be, and what being a husband was supposed to be, and what a wife was supposed to be, and how she was supposed to act, you had to learn that maybe some of those preconceptions were wrong.
Right.
And learn what that meant for you, and how, and that's where we struggled in the beginning. And I had to have some of those lessons too, so that we could both find a way to come together and be a team.
Yeah,
so I just want to clarify.
It sounds like what we're doing is saying, let's get rid of ego.
Well,
Because I know every single friend of mine is like, Sally? Just out here submit. I just wanted, because of what people think of that. And so just so when the internet sees
all right, we get it. There are
All right, we get it.
I just wanted, because
Also, like, oh Lord, I think for him, let me see. I think for him, I think it's hard to be her husband in this world. It's worth it inside, right? It might even be worth it outside, but you still feel a way about the fact that she is who she is. And it is because y'all think as men that y'all are entitled to shit. And when women have it and you don't, it makes you mad at the woman because she has it, whatever the thing is, the career, the looks, whatever. I mean, whatever it may be, I think people really forget how often people are jealous of each other in their relationships.
Have an incredibly successful wife.
No, this interview with Egypt is from a few months ago. This year, though, but from a few months ago. And then his book just came out. And I'm just kind of, looking at both things. It's not that long ago. So it just kind of feels like, I'm trying to see a consistency here that doesn't feel like a grift. That's all. I do feel like at the heart of it, men like Dondre, I think they do want to make a difference in a positive manner in the grand scope of things. But like a lot of men like him, they are still willing to sacrifice women for their religion to men and to the patriarchy. And when they say things like being the head of a household and leading and submitting, all of those words, those key words, are used in the brainwashing of women and men that women are to be, some type of fucking submissive helpmate, and a man is to be some extraordinary human being that is able to see his front and his back and his sides at all times so a woman can close her fucking eyes and whistle in her head. It's not realistic, and it's never really been the truth of our existence here. But it is something that is constantly being pushed on everybody as if it's real. It's not real. If it was real, you would see it happening all the time naturally. And that's not what's happening. It's not.
I didn't even know how much Sally had done as a director and producer. The Gilded Age. Queen Sugar, The Punisher.
So at the time that her directing The Gilded Age is happening earlier this year, is coming out, he's also working on this book, and his book is about to come out.
The Shy, American Gods, Dear White People.
My
So I
new
gotta
show,
sing your
Task.
Can you talk about what that was like as you guys both started as actors and then she hit the pivot button? Did that cause any divide?
Yes. What does that say? Kathelina Malia? He knows the other men ain't shit. He knows the other men ain't shit either, but it's all about keeping men in the home. Yes. It often feels from a lot of people, the Sarah Fatnos and all of them, keep the man in the home, force the woman to be with the man and keep the man in the home. And I feel like it's because if a man is in the home, then y'all can keep all of his anger and all of his weird shit to the confines of his household. So if he wants to beat somebody's ass, he can beat that woman's ass. And we ain't got to worry about him, joining up in no revolutions to stop capitalism or anything like that. You don't realize that that's where you got that shit from, but that's exactly where you got that shit from. And it's not new. It's not new. They've been teaching y'all to hate women for hundreds of thousands of years now, because if men were to stop thinking that women are beneath them and they would see more so how much women are able to help them evolve and be better, then we would be evolving as a species instead of unevolving, whatever the fuck we doing, girl, whatever the fuck backwards mean. Okay, we're doing that. Okay. And then on top of that, you're subjugated yourself. Like men, just like white people don't realize that racism is harming them, men don't realize that this misogyny shit is harming them. They feel like they can temper it a little bit and it won't still be fucked up. But no, it's always gonna be fucked up. Please understand, a woman's submission is directly correlated to how you're gonna work yourself to death for some unattainable goal. Those two things are the same thing. Okay? You thinking that you are supposed to be some big thing that you're actually not, and her thinking that she needs to be smaller so you can be bigger. Those two things go hand in hand, and they're backwards as fuck. That's why it doesn't work.
In your relationship?
No, not divide. When I talked about being team, If now you're gone, what that requires
Right.
is for me to stabilize the house. The entertainment industry is peaks and valleys. Throughout our time, 28 years, her career's done this, my career's done that, her career's done that, my career's done this. We know what this is. And by the way, to all my sisters out there, my career's done this, we's done that. My years, her career's done this, my career's done that, her career's done that, my career's done this. We know what this is. And by the way, to all my sisters out there, you are the most educated demographic in this country. You're probably now going to become the bigger breadwinner in your house. What that means is now the man is stepping into another role, not a worse role, not a less important role, but
Not at all.
different role.
Not at
Right.
all.
What you thought.
And y'all niggas need to be okay with being house husbands and doing whatever needs to be done in order to keep the household together. That's the idea. It's kind of like what they were telling women back in the day, right? Like, just let him think he running things. Just let him think he running things, girl. Nigga is running things. What the fuck are you talking about? But if I leave, he gonna be broke up. Yeah, because that nigga is emotionally enmeshed and codependent on sucking from you. Like, what are you talking about? Of course he's gonna be upset if you leave. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't, damn sure don't mean your ass shouldn't leave, girl.
Manhood was going to be and what being a husband was supposed to be and what a wife was supposed to be and how she was supposed to act, you had to learn that maybe some of those preconceptions were wrong.
Right.
And learn what that meant for you. And that's where we struggled in the beginning. And I had to have some of those lessons too, so that we could both find a way to come together and be a team.
When men don't,
I think expectations kills everything, y'all. On different levels, I think sometimes it's so best to not have any expectations whatsoever, to have boundaries, to have the things that you are okay with and not okay with, yes. But I think on some level, we really fucked ourselves up by having expectations, because when we have expectations of everything, we always get disappointed because our expectations will far exceed, whatever actually ends up happening. And I think the way you think marriage is supposed to fulfill you, the way you think another person is supposed to fulfill you, the way you think a baby is supposed to fulfill you, like, it's a lot of making everybody think that these things are going to fulfill them, even careers and money and all of that. And it's like, well, you know that that's not true, because people can have all of those things and still end up killing themselves or having, drug habits and all of the shit, because you have to be okay with you. And it's the individual thing figuring out what that means. And I think people are always expecting to have the life of somebody else and not their own. And that's why a lot of people are so upset or are so disappointed in their lives, is because at times when they were given the opportunities to make the decision, they kind of fell back and did what is normal for them or what felt less scary. And I think in those moments, eventually you get to a point where you didn't take any risk. And so you've been in the same place and now you're mad about it. Like, I do think people get to that point. I just feel like as long as you ain't dead, it ain't never too late. That's how I feel.
Have men who give them direction, then we don't become the kind of men that we're supposed to become. When women don't get messaging that they need from their fathers, a man that loves them, that is not trying to sleep with them,
Yes.
then they miss something critical
Yes.
too. We were really trying to find our footing. That 5-year period was really just the find the footing piece. Once we started getting to that page, then it was like, all right, man, let's do this.
Children are used as emotional blackmail, because you could teach a child all of those things and you don't have to be in a household with the mother or in a romantic relationship with the mother. In all honesty, you could have a respectful, really good friendship with your co-parent, and that would teach your daughter way more about life. For one, it would teach her how to have relationships with the opposite sex that aren't predicated on sex. It would also teach her that men are supposed to respect you, and y'all are supposed to be on equal footing, and y'all are supposed to be cooperative with each other. Y'all are not supposed to think that one is better than the other and all of this bullshit. But y'all can't conceptualize what it would look like for a nigga to be a good parent without having to be, making a woman be in a relationship that she don't want to be in. And I don't really like that, because I don't like that y'all are always blackmailing women into being in relationships they really don't want to be in. You know what I mean? because you want them to keep, the children at the forefront. As if beautiful lessons aren't learned in women choosing themselves, especially in front of their daughters. Especially in front of their daughters. It is always a beautiful thing for women to teach their daughters sovereignty and self-respect and dignity and what to take and what not to take. And with that being said, everybody, we're going to Mauritius with Reset by Design Wellness in September. September 8th through the 17th of this year. Go ahead and sign up, girl. It's going to be an amazing trip. If you love a good waiting to exhale moment, girl, this will be that. Come, eat, dance, explore different places. Meet me on the beach. Get your wellness. Talk to a therapist, girl. Work through some things. Get a massage. You know what I'm saying? Everybody need a little massage. You know you need a massage. It's going to be fun. There are going to be activities. You could just chill. But we are going to do some workshops. And, we're going to see what we're trying to accomplish, because it's always so important to actually be able to sit with your thoughts and sit with your wants and your needs about your life. And this is a great opportunity to do that, through travel. So Reset by Design Wellness, girl, come with us to Mauritius in September. Link down below in the description box. What do you mean? What do you mean? I can't wait, y'all. I can't wait. I need to start doubling up and making way more videos. Y'all, sometimes I feel like I'm about to start hoeing myself on social media so I can make this goddamn money. My God, I need to start reading my emails. I probably would have way more opportunities if I was reading my emails, or maybe if I had a manager of some sort. You know what I'm saying? But you're trying to act like I ain't popping, bitch. Please. Please, bitch, please. Okay? Y'all like me? Like the video. Okay? Y'all fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? We got a surprise for y'all tonight, so I hope y'all come through to the Ooh Ladies first panel. Well, y'all, Stefan Diggs has given 14 days by a judge to explain his relationship with assault accuser Christopher Blake Griffith. All right, Stefan Diggs is facing a court-imposed deadline as his civil battle with sexual assault accuser Christopher Blake Griffith continues to unfold. TMZ reports a federal judge has ordered the NFL free agent to provide more detail about how he knows Griffith. Ruling that Diggs' previous description of him as an acquaintance was not enough. According to the June 3rd order, Diggs must submit a truthful, complete, and non-evasive response within 14 days or risk sanctions. The judge also directed Diggs to give further answers about his interactions with Griffith in May 2023 and identify who was at his Rockville, Maryland home around that time. However, Diggs will not have to answer questions about alleged prior possession or distribution of controlled substances, because apparently football players sell drugs too, allegedly. I don't know. That is odd. Griffith, a clothing designer who worked with Diggs' fashion label Liam Home, accuses him of drugging and sexually assaulting him on May 22nd, 2023. Diggs has denied the allegation and filed a defamation lawsuit. Griffith's attorney, Jake Lebowitz, said Mr. Griffin is looking forward to showing the world in court that regardless of the fairy tale fabricated by Mr. Diggs' high-priced New York lawyers, he is the victim of Mr. Diggs' unwanted sexual advances and his brother's violent attacks. My God, on today. So I'm going to just tell y'all right now, like, I don't know. I don't know what the truth is in this situation. I tend to believe the victims. Okay. I just do. I tend to believe the victims. Let me see. And also, I feel like Stefan Diggs is one of them niggas that when you look at him, you like, man, whatever them people says you did, that's what you did, bro. Like, I ain't even finna get all upset and argue, and even be looking that much into it because like, whatever, bro. Whatever, bro. But when it comes to, you football playing niggas, I'm sorry. I don't have a lot of faith in y'all. Again, the young men with the violence, okay? The young men with the ego so high in the motherfucking sky, you don't take no for an answer. And you've been brainwashed to believe that you can do whatever the fuck you want to do to get what you want to get from people, okay? Because it's better to just do some shit and apologize than to ask for permission. Right? That's what a lot of the niggas are taught out here, y'all. Speaking of niggas that y'all taught the wrong shit, Chris Brown's back on the blogs. Diamond Brown, his baby mama, isn't here for the naysayers. The influencer shared a somewhat cryptic message late last night, making it known that she doesn't throw the first stone, but will throw one back if needed. The post titled, "I Stay in My Lane," comes shortly after Chris Brown filed for joint legal and physical custody of their 4-year-old daughter. Also, he don't have to pay child support. Y'all know that nigga don't need to have no primary physical, no joint. Nigga, please just come see this child ever so often and pay your child support. Stop with all of this. Anyway, the daughter's name is Lovely. If you recall, Diamond first filed for full custody, arguing that the child is always in her care and she's pretty much raising her alone. Also, Chris Brown seems like the type of vindictive nigga to make it hard co-parenting. So you don't want to have to wait on him in order to get okays on things. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all let me know, y'all mamas out there, if that's the situation a lot of the times. But from what I understand, men love using the court system to further abuse women that they used to be in relationships with. Okay, bitch, just the fact that I'm not fucking you no more means I can't stand your fucking ass. So if I can make your life harder when it comes to the child that I put in you, well, bitch, just know that that's exactly what the fuck I'm gonna do. Okay? So yeah, it definitely gives he could possibly be doing all of this shit just to be vindictive, right? I got the money. My lawyers is already on retainer because I'm always beating somebody's ass. So there are always niggas down to the law office ready to get a call from Breezy. All right? The two have been going back and forth for a while now, with Diamond even accusing Chris Brown of making threats against her boyfriend. Chris' girlfriend, Jada Wallace, then jumped in, claiming Diamond was keeping Lovely from Chris. While she didn't name names in her most recent post, Diamond did say people love acting innocent after they created the tension. Y'all will test somebody, play in their face, disrespect them quietly, and then act shocked when the energy gets returned. A judge has yet to rule on the custody dispute, okay? She said, "I stay in my lane. Let's be clear. I don't bother people, compete with people, or move off jealousy, bitterness, or weird energy. I stay in my lane, focus on myself, and genuinely be minding my business. But one thing people need to stop doing is throwing rocks, then hiding their hands when somebody finally reacts. A lot of y'all know exactly what y'all be doing. The slick comments, the fake support, the passive-aggressive behavior, the weird energy behind closed doors, the subtle disrespect, the boundary crossing, the secret competition, the playing dumb after provoking somebody over and over. Then when that person finally snaps, now they crazy, dramatic, or the problem. Be for real. People love acting innocent after they created the tension. Y'all will test somebody, play in their face, disrespect them quietly, then act shocked when the energy gets returned. Like, no. You don't get to poke at people repeatedly, then cry victim when they stop allowing it. I don't throw the first stone, but I will throw one back. And that don't make me toxic, messy, or hateful. It means I'm human and I'm not fitting to let people play me like I'm weak. Respectfully, 100. I mean, listen, I'm sorry. I believe whatever the lady said. don't know, y'all. I might be crazy, but once a nigga say that if once you mind, you always mind. Once a nigga get online and let y'all know he's willing to be crazy about an ex, if one ex say this nigga still acting crazy about me, I'm gonna believe. Because you have a pattern of behavior of trying to punish women when you no longer have access to them. Because you feel like you always supposed to be able to have access to whatever bitch you want to have access to. That's why a lot of y'all like to impregnate these women, because those are the women you feel like you're going to want to go back and, and be able to lay down with ever so often. It happens with regular niggas. It absolutely is going to happen with a famous one like Chris. And at some point, like, I'm going to feel, and I'm not there yet, right? Because I still feel like y'all groom young women in order to enter into these types of toxic, fucked up relationships. But I also feel like, girl, how much shit online, how many news stories, how much do you need to see of a nigga in order to be like, you know what, nah, I'm straight, son. It's all right. We appreciate you, though. Hey, sweet. I'm good. Is that my little fan? Yeah, you got to pop it open and see. It's a Kika. It's a Kika. It's a small one. Yeah, it was only like $20. Exactly. That's what I want to see. It's supposed to be smaller though, but they like it. My mama wanted to use mine, so I was trying to see if I got, I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, that bitch like $80. The one I got. No, I'm gonna open it because I want to see. I might just go ahead and give her mine and use that one. I do. Oh, especially when I charge that bitch all the way up. Lord. Y'all, I have a really strong fan. Supportive men only. Those are the only ones we like. Okay, so let's get into this, y'all.
Foremost, I want to start off by taking full accountability for what I did.
Okay, so first of all, I want to say I don't know this lady, but, her hair is cute. Twitch streamer Kathelina apologizes after being exposed for cheating on her boyfriend with her own cousin.
I want to start off by apologizing to the person that I hurt the most in this situation, which was my ex. I want to say sorry to my supporters that I disappointed. I did a lot of things that I'm not proud of, and I have to own up to them. To my ex, I'm so sorry for hurting you, and I'm sorry that I did not take your feelings into consideration when I did what I did. But our relationship was not picture perfect as it may seem. I lost myself in our relationship, and I was in a very dark place at the time when I did what I did. I have to own up to what I did. I have to take accountability for my actions. And in doing that, I've come to realize that I need help for myself and for all my loved ones around me. I know I've done wrong, I fucked up, and I'm taking time away to seek professional help in order to correct my mistakes, reflect on what I've done, and become a better person. First and foremost, I want to start off by taking full accountability for what I did. I want to start off by apologizing to the person that I hurt the most in this situation, which was my ex. I want to say sorry to my supporters that I disappointed. I did a lot of things that I'm not proud of, and I have to own up to them. To my ex, I'm so sorry for hurting you, and I'm sorry that I did not take your feelings into consideration when I did what I did. But our relationship was not picture perfect as it may seem.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm in here talking a lyric, but also I'm trying to. You cheated on your boyfriend with your cousin?
But our relationship was not picture perfect.
All right, I'm sorry for fucking. You know what? I'm sorry for cheating on you with my cousin, but our relationship wasn't perfect, so that's the reason why I did so. I'm sorry for sending my cousin pictures of my ass, titties, and fucking cooch on your living room couch and in your restroom and on my bed, but you know what? Because our relationship wasn't okay, that excuses it. I'm sorry that you had to find my cousin's cock in my camera roll, but you know what? It's okay, because our relationship wasn't okay, in the first place. And that right there is the work of the reputation saver that you was emailing and your fucking YouTube manager told me about, bruh.
But our relationship was not picture perfect.
What kind of manager this nigga? What kind of manager is this? Let me know so I don't never hire his ass.
And work to better myself. I also want to talk about.
First of all, even though I'm in the right 100% for leaving you and talking about how I feel because you cheated on me with your cousin, you know, your parents were literally calling me and threatening me to delete that video because I don't know. They were threatening me with so much stuff that was just so uncalled for. And I don't know. It just seems like they're more biased to you than what's actually going on. Like,
And work to better myself. I also want to talk about.
first of all, even though I'm in the right 100% for leaving you and talking about how I feel because you cheated on me with your cousin, you know, your parents were literally calling me and threatening me to delete that video because I don't know. They were threatening me with so much stuff that was just so uncalled for.
Actually, they should have been threatening your ass. They should have been threatening you. I'm Not Kenneth claims members of Kathelina's family contacted him after his viral video and pressured him to remove it. He also addressed several allegations and discussions that have surfaced online since he first shared details about their relationship. So I'm gonna say that's nasty and that's fucked up that she is having a sexual relationship with her cousin. But I'm going to also say that if her family threatened to beat him into the cement for putting that shit on the internet, I feel like that's an appropriate response. I'm just saying. Yeah, this is the boyfriend. Like, I don't care what nobody talking about. If she wanted to get up there and tell her own story, fine. Do I think at any point you should get on the internet and tell her story, especially that shit? Nah, you ain't got to give us all that. You could just be like, man, look, she cheated on me and we not together no more. And I know you can't tell people how to react, but sometimes I feel like as men, y'all really love to put women on a public platform about things that have to do with sexuality. And a lot of times I feel like it puts the woman in more physical danger. And I think just because somebody cheats with their cousin, it doesn't mean they should be put in physical danger behind it. And I think when you get online and talk about it in a way with your weird fucking fans, I think that it is likely that you could put her in a situation where she is physically harmed or something behind, albeit nasty, but still a mistake she makes, obviously as a very young woman, because they both look like they in their early 20s. And I just kind of feel like some of you niggas' parents is cousins. Some of you niggas' grandmothers and grandfathers is cousins and shit, y'all. Some of y'all aunts and uncles got some crossover. It's not, something that's never been done before. We are all grossed out together by it. But it does not mean that she should be in physical danger. And as a girl, I think it puts her more in physical danger than it does either one of these men. Yeah, and I don't want her to harm herself behind it either. Because, yeah, things like that are just very confusing. Right, and who is the cousin? How old is the cousin? How did we start fucking with our cousin? Girl, I need more information, but I might have to go do some research and come back to y'all about this. But the way the people, that sound like Kiki Wyatt. The way, yeah, it feels like feels like Manosphere 2026 gotcha story. See, this is a reason why you don't trust or respect women, because they be like 22 years old, fucking their cousins and shit, cheating on you. Okay, in your bathroom, taking photos to send. And it's like, because first of all, y'all too young to be in a monogamous relationship. Second of all, again, how did we start fucking with our cousin? What the hell is going on? That type of incestuous shit, I feel like y'all had to see somebody in y'all family be okay with that shit. Like, people be acting like incest don't be happening in motherfuckers' families and shit. Did y'all see that white lady that was talking about her whole line of incest and shit? Let me find it for y'all right quick. I think some things are very outrageous and they make me feel uncomfortable, but the amount of violence that people are going to incite about it, I don't think is necessary. And I think it's sometimes these are just ways for y'all to abuse girls for having sex or being sexual, even in the confines of girl being sexual with your fucking cousin. But it is very common. Cheating can be hand waved away, but incest, beloved, that's what I'm saying. Like, but that's why we wondering, has it always been consensual? What is the age range? What happened? You know what I mean? Because you never know how these things take place. I just don't want to. I'm just not in a space in my life where I feel like us attacking people on the internet is ever the fucking option about some things. You know what I'm saying? Especially about things like that, where I just feel like, girl, what happened? That feels like a therapy session. That don't feel like a flogging. And I feel like a lot of times y'all look for an opportunity to flog women. And I feel like it's more dangerous for women than it is for men. And men be acting like them getting they ass handed to them online does something to them. But how many times has Cam Newton gotten bested online or cursed out about something? Nothing happens to these niggas. I'm sorry, y'all. I wanted to get into this since we were talking about incestuous situations, because when I first started listening to this, my head started hurting, so I stopped listening. So maybe if I listen with y'all, we can all make sense of this together. Will y'all do that with me? Okay. So Kingston cult survivor Catherine Nichols breaks down the deeply disturbing family connections inside the order. I don't know what the Kingston cult is, but it looks like I might be looking for a documentary to watch later.
So don't bully me, but I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit more about my incestuous family, okay? It's not a tree, it's a bush. Let me try to explain it best I can. I'm gonna get confused. You're gonna ask the questions and I'm gonna answer them. Still. Step 1, great grandma and great grandpa, Ortel and LaDonna Kingston. Ortel and LaDonna, okay? These guys got married to each other. Does that make sense so far? Okay, that's pretty simple. Ortel and LaDonna married, right? They have 9 children, okay? 7 brothers, 2 sisters. We'll write that down, actually. 7 boys, 2 girls. 2 of these 7 boys are very important in my family tree, okay? One of these 7 boys is my grandpa, the leader of the order right now, which is Paul Kingston, okay? We're gonna write that down. Paul Kingston. And then the other brother, there's 7 of them, right? One of them is my grandpa, which is Paul Kingston, and then the other brother is my dad, which is Jason Kingston, okay? We're gonna write that down. Jason Kingston.
Did she just say that her grandfather and her father are brothers?
Okay, so my grandpa, we'll write grandpa up here. And then Jason is my dad, so we'll write dad above here. Okay, so Paul Kingston has 27 wives, okay? 27 wives. One of his 27, his legal wife, one of his 27 wives is my grandma. So he marries, let's just say legal wife. He marries legal wife. And this legal wife has 18 children. I'm just gonna put the numbers by their names. So Paul Kingston marries this legal wife, has 18 children with her, and one of these children were my mom, okay? My mom. And then my mom, she married my dad, okay? Which is Jason Kingston. That's how Jason Kingston is my dad, because my mom married Paul Kingston's full brother, which is Jason, okay? And then it gets even worse. Just bear with me, listen.
Wait. It sounds like the mama fucked the son, Paul King. So LaDonna fucked Paul and had Jason. Paul also had another wife. That wife had her mom. So mom is a half sibling to the dad that is also the brother of the grandfather, who was also the husband / son of the great grandmother.
Pay attention in class. My mom has 18...
Oh, absolutely, Diva. Abso-fucking-lutely, Diva. You already know what it is. Trying to keep their bloodline white. Doubling up those chromosomes. Just giving us a whole bunch of crazy white people. Girl, now y'all know how we got here.
siblings, right? Remember how we said the legal wife has 18 kids? My mom has 18 siblings. Let's say one of my mom's...
She has 17 siblings, babe.
Have kids, okay? Which is my generation. So mom has me. Brothers have kids. We'll say this brother has a girl, okay? My mom has a brother, and that brother has a girl. And that girl, my dad marries that girl. So my dad is basically marrying my generation at this point. First generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, fifth generation. My dad, second generation, is marrying fifth generation, okay? We'll put the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't think she's doing that right, but I'm gonna leave her alone.
And then, hear me out.
No, she is. I'm sorry.
This is
what
they
confusing.
had me do. My mom has another brother, okay? We'll just put him right here. Brother, because remember, she has 18 siblings. Well, 17 including her.
There we go.
18 kids altogether with this legal wife right here. And she has multiple brothers, multiple sisters. Her youngest brother is who they had me marry, okay? And then...
Girl. So her mama got brothers. She's also, I guess, having a... girl, okay, no. The mom has brothers. The brother... Oh my God. One of the brothers is with their niece. The other brother, his daughter, her cousin, marries her dad. Girl, these children got to be some of the most goofy, slow kids.
We had a kid, a boy, and I bet if I stayed in the cult that I came from, they were gonna have my boy marry one of my siblings, because I have 17. So my mom has 17 kids, but I have 16 siblings.
And I'm sure that they're doing it this way specifically because they think this is how you keep from having the most issues with the children. I bet you any money that they've done some studies on the best way to have incestuous relationships so that the children aren't as fucked up.
Multiple girls, multiple boys. So I feel like if they had me stay in there, they would have my boy marry my sister, either one of my sisters. I feel like they would have my boy marry one of my sisters. I'll just say girl, actually. Girl. And it would just keep going like that, okay? And this is not just me. Remember how I have 16 siblings? I have 5 older sisters, and all 5 of my older sisters married my mom's brothers and sisters just like me. You see little old me right here? How I married my mom's brother right there. My mom has 17 siblings. She has multiple brothers, and my siblings, which I have 16 of them, married my mom's brother. So all of us just married all of our mom's brothers. And guess what's even worse? 2 of my direct sisters from my mom and my dad married the same brother. You know how polygamy is a thing in there? They both married the same brother. Okay, so let's just say me, my sister. I'm gonna erase this 5th generation. You guys get it. Sister, let's just do 2 sisters. These 2 sisters from mom and dad marry my mom's full siblings. So they both married the same guy. I didn't do that, but 2 of my sisters did. So yeah, they're sleeping together, I guess. I don't know. Thanks, mom and dad and the system and all my siblings for marrying your uncles, because what the fuck? If you guys have
Yeah, everybody's marrying their uncles.
any questions about my family tree, feel free to leave them down below. Thanks, guys.
And these are the people that have infiltrated, if they're the Mormons, right? And the evangelicals and shit, these are the people that have infiltrated your government. Yeah, y'all. So that happened. Y'all be safe out there. Jesus Christ. So then, and then what? You're going to stack your flow? Okay, that's good. You should do that. So what do I want to go? Okay, so here we're gonna go here next, because I feel like this is a great segue. And this is why it's important for all of Nick Cannon's kids to know each other, so that they don't end up fucking each other, unless that's what they want to do. We hope that's not what they want to do. Nick Cannon has admitted that his journey to having 12 children with 6 different women stemmed from his unhealed trauma following his 2016 divorce from Mariah Carey. Well, that sounds like bullshit. He recently reflected on his unorthodox fatherhood path, which was driven by a lack of proper inner healing he's always weaponizing spiritual talk. I'm tired of hearing about it, nigga. Just do it. During the appearance on The Breakfast Club, Cannon opened up about his process and mindset at the time. Remember what we just talking about Dondre? And how they weaponize their emotions so that they can, continue to reap the benefits of whatever the fuck, right? Other people. This is reminiscent of that. Cannon admitted he didn't do the necessary psychological work or emotional healing after his divorce, leading him to live life with a whatever happens, happens mentality. Yeah, you take your hands off the wheel so you don't have to be accountable for anything. What did I just say? What do we just finished talking about? How people just don't want to have to be accountable for the decisions that they make in their life. So they just be like, fuck it. And it's like, bitch, it's your life. You can say fuck it if you want to. He confessed that his ability to easily have children was fueled by his financial means and access, acknowledging that his approach to fatherhood was careless, which is so ridiculous because so many people said it. And that's one of the main issues we be talking about with men. When women say shit to y'all do not listen. And it's because you feel like you don't have to listen to women because they're girls. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. You need to hear this shit from a nigga first. Or you need to ruin a whole bunch of other women and leave a whole bunch of children fucking abandoned, crying on the phone, trying to get you to come for Christmas, but you can't because you across the fucking country with Mariah Carey kids. Yeah, if you have any amount of care in your heart whatsoever, that should make you feel like shit about yourself. And this is what we were trying to keep y'all from doing. All of you niggas that felt like as long as you had the money, you could be Erykah Badu. You can't. You can't do what bitches do. You can't. Okay, y'all know how y'all like to say women can't go around fucking whoever they want to do, fuck like men can? Because we get left with babies. Guess what, nigga? You can't just go around leaving babies everywhere and thinking that people gonna see you as a good father because the babies ain't with you, are they? Yeah. And when you get older, all that really matters is how you treated them people. Because ain't nobody else gonna give a fuck. So, as he approached his mid-40s, Cannon regrets not taking more time to plan and do the inner work instead of leaving trauma behind at every step. Despite his regrets, Cannon emphasizes that all his children were made out of love within strong relationships, and he dedicates a significant amount of daily routine to being present for them. I'm sure you do, and I'm sure that's exhausting. That loop is going to wear your ass the fuck out on top of having to mangle 12 motherfucking children all the time. Jesus Christ. I feel like I just saw him talking about something. I thought I had saved another Nick Cannon clip somewhere, but maybe not. Maybe not. We don't need to hear much more either way. I know he was somewhere trying to make excuses for saying that he was cool with Trump. And I think he said, like, no, that's not what I meant. Yeah, he said he fucks with Trump in the car, but then later came out and said, I meant I fuck with him because he was in all the rap songs. And I'm like, you must have not been paying attention, nigga. You must have not been paying attention because Pac and them been told y'all that he was a goofy ass nigga that just wanted to be seen. Like, I don't understand why that's like, nobody respected him. Nobody liked him in the 90s. But what happened was, and I thought you niggas knew this, was Trump owned a lot of real estate that used to be used in music videos and movies. That's why y'all would see him. And I believe that he created this lie that he was one of the richest people in America and all of that, because I don't think he was ever really that fucking rich. And if he was, it was for such a short amount of time that it didn't matter. Also, if he was that rich, it also is because he don't like to pay people. Let's not forget that. He don't like to pay people. Anyway, Nick Cannon was up there with Amber Rose talking about he's all right by me. And then his show got greenlit. I think he had a show that he was trying to get greenlit, and that shit got greenlit. And it low-key, oh, here you go. It low-key felt like you got up there and said what you said because a part of what goes on behind the scenes is that celebrities are being paid, hand washing type situations when they get on the internet and say something in favor of old boy. It continues to happen. Waka Flocka doesn't even vote. Waka Flocka, Joaquin, doesn't even fucking vote. And yet comes outside on the internet all the time screaming about how he liked Trump and Trump is so great. And you don't even fucking vote. Nikki got some type of fake ass gold card. I still feel like there was some type of payment because I think that helped her keep her house. It's a whole bunch of y'all that it seemed like, niggas wait for y'all to be in fucked up situations. And instead of letting the shit fall, letting go to some extent, you would rather let him come in and save the day for you, and you get up here and say misleading, fucked up things to a world of people that are easily manipulated, especially by celebrities that they like. And I think that people think they have no real responsibility in that. And if you sleep okay every night, then that's your business.
See a headline of you after you're walking back, like kind of what happened with this whole Donald Trump comments with Amber
I didn't
Rose.
walk nothing back. You know me, I stand firm on everything I said.
You know the headline?
What I said, again, I'm only responsible for what I say. Yeah, not for what people interpret or understand.
Come on.
What they say.
Because the Democratic Party is the party of the KKK and all of that.
Have we done? You do know I got a degree in Africana studies and history, so I'm not just saying stuff. Now, if you take what I say out of context, that's fine. But as I've always said, I wear a turban for a living. I've always been anti-establishment. I don't associate with no kind of political party.
I wear a turban at home sometimes.
Y'all bonnet brothers.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I'm just telling you that my beliefs in this judicial system, this government, I've always been.
This year headline of you after you
always been very for our community. I'm for the people. I'm not for politics. But again, I kind of know a little something about something, and the more you know, the quieter you stay is what you really should is the real lesson here. But
like
in that, I said what I said when I was talking about stuff from history, and people took it as if I was talking about it right then. And I think people got a lot charged up because Amber Rose, who is
super MAGA,
you know, but also a friend of mine and been a friend of mine before she was into politics. So I was trying to find common ground. I thought that's what we do when we crack these mics open, that we're literally saying, like, look, we're not going to let politics divide us as people.
We're not. We're not. Man, I'm going to let politics divide us as people just like I'm going to let my body divide me from you. The fuck? The way I'm going to let a wall divide me from you. The way I'm going to be in my house dividing myself from you. The fuck is you talking about? The way I can be on the other side of a bathroom stall dividing myself from you. What are you talking about? It's such manipulative language that they use.
So I was looking like, look, I don't agree with you. You may not.
Waka Flocka can't influence you, but Waka Flocka can influence maybe the stupid early 30 niggas that really should be voting. But if they were looking for a hotep that went vegan but didn't lose no weight, you know, to give them some political advice. It's not even about the fact that he's somebody y'all would listen to politically. It's the fact that people was listening to him for other shit. Once you got people ears for certain shit, especially if you a hotep, and when he went vegan, hotep shit. So now you got hotep audience. Hotep audience is an audience of black men that would be voting if they weren't so stupid.
I agree with me, but we can find.
And I don't just mean voting. I mean being involved. I mean not feeling like they have no power, so taking no part in anything, but complaining about the shit all the time. It's a lot of talking ass niggas that ain't doing nothing.
Some common ground to maintain, you know, healthy discourse, but you know.
You categorize yourself as a Republican?
No.
Okay, I'm just asking.
I categorize myself as a black man in America. Always been very,
part of the Republican Party.
That's right. Former Democrat, former liberal.
Yeah.
I was a liberal Democrat my whole life.
Is that because the bag has got so intense and so heavy that you had a whole nother, you up there with the elite now?
Not even close. Not even close. Democrats don't care about black people.
Okay,
and they don't care about people. They don't care about people of color. And the Republicans do. And that's the misconception.
And the Republicans do. Girl, where? Show me where. Point to where. Is Republicans caring about black people in a room with us? You mean the same people that fought to redistrict the states so that black people wouldn't have the same amount of power in the politics, in the court system, down here in the court system?
Conception.
And you know what? I agree with you 100%.
Thank you,
People
Nick.
don't know that the Democrats is the party of the KKK.
Yep.
We do know that, Nicholas. Nicholas, we do know. We do know that the party switched over. Probably right after right around the civil rights movement, I believe. I got to go back to watching Mel again. She was just talking about this portion of American history with Howardson. She was just talking about this part. And talking about how Martin Luther King was about to start getting people excited about fighting capitalism because he realized how that was the main issue. Race was becoming a thing of the past for him, and the capitalism was really becoming the issue. Also talked about, you know, basically how y'all know the movie about the Messiah. It was that Fred Hampton, right? And FBI infiltrating the Black Panther Party. Julius, thank you. Judas and the Black Messiah. Thank you, Larry. But yes, we are aware of history, motherfuckers. And what we know is that the Republicans that all of us have known our entire lives, our entire lives, the millennials, because I feel like Nicholas and bald head Betty over here are millennials, whether they are elder millennials or not. I believe they both millennials. These niggas have been kicking juice bottles out of y'all fucking mouths since y'all came into this world. They have been stripping all of the social programs that was meant to help poor white ladies whose husbands had left them for bitches twice their age. Twice their junior. Y'all know what I'm saying? Half their age. Half their age, bitch. You get what I'm saying? Half their age. That's who all of those benefits and social programs were for. And men who died in war and left women who weren't supposed to be working, but also who couldn't make enough money off of the shit that they did do. Because y'all made it so that women could only do certain jobs, and those jobs never paid a lot of money. So it always still took somebody else's income. A nigga go to war, a nigga die. So they had to put together social programs so that people wouldn't fucking starve. Because children were out there starving in the street and robbing people and shit. So that's why they had to create social programs to get children off the street. Okay? Motherfuckers understood it was a good thing back then. But when it comes to the black children, all of a sudden we feel like social programs are a problem and welfare queens. And now we're in the fucking 80s and y'all are trying to get rid of everything. And they did the same thing with all of the things that the people put in place in the 80s and the 90s to help black people get a leg up with affirmative action and DEI. They get rid of all of that shit, right? And now your poor white rural ass can't go to college neither because you didn't know that DEI, equity, inclusion also stood for poor motherfuckers that live in rural areas.
People don't know that the Republicans are the party that freed the slaves.
Yep.
I mean...
Guess how long it's been since we were slaves, Nicholas?
Both of you and I have some conservative views. You just a little bit more outspoken about it than I am. And I honestly, I don't subscribe to neither party. I rock with W.E.B. Du Bois when he said there's no such thing as two parties. It's just one evil party with two different names.
Now, I'm trying to remember the fight between W.E.B. Du Bois and I believe it was Marcus Garvey. Was it Marcus Garvey that had beef with W.E.B. Du Bois back then? But I'm going to tell you one thing. I read a lot about this in college. You know what I'm saying? It was a Harlem Renaissance era and all of this shit, right? And if I remember correctly, W.E.B. Du Bois, while very brilliant, was also, I believe, you know, about capitalism and the Black Boule and all of that. And also, a misogynist. I'm thinking of Booker T too, but I wasn't sure if it was him or Marcus Garvey. But it was Booker T. Washington versus W.E.B. Du Bois. Thank you. I feel like Marcus Garvey was a part of that too, because Marcus Garvey wanted to go back to Africa and the niggas didn't want to. But that's what he was on. I gotta get back. I gotta go read again about this because I got some books about this shit. Yeah, but yes, W.E.B. Du Bois was colorist. He was a misogynist. I felt like him and you know, he wasn't very helpful to the women's. Okay, that's a problem for me. So when you say that that's who you look up to, nigga, I'm in my mind like, yeah, that's why you're a fucking misogynist. Because you look up to other misogynists. You see how that didn't help anything, right? I don't know when y'all gonna realize y'all need women for revolution, but not as like something to put in front of yourself like a fucking shield. That's why it's called the motherboard, bitch. Why do you think it's called that? Because we supposed to be the brains of the operation, ho.
So
yeah, I mean, look, I listen, I'm not.
And Amber Rose is just a fucking grifting ass sellout. People like her just always make me think, girl, I don't know what the black people did to you that you still so fucking mad about, but suck a dick, okay? Because your little personal issues with the black people you grew up around ain't got shit to do with what's going on in this world right now, and you getting online to be an antagonist and to stoke fires at a time like this, it's just very, very low vibrational, bitch. It's very, very sad. Very, very upsetting. And lastly, Boosie Badass. Get money. I like that. I used to have hoes who trifling. Now I got pros who dyking. And it's exciting. I had to get my shit together, man. I didn't like that. Had too many. Oh, straight up. Dirty shell toes and Nikes. I didn't like that. It was exciting. Get my got right. Anyway, concert at the concert. Popping that gangster shit. And it's exciting. The gayest nigga ever. That nigga so gay. Boosie is so gay. You gay, nigga. You gay. You gay, nigga. Boosie is so gay. Gay nigga. Gay nigga. Gay nigga. He's gay, 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 he's gay. Come on. Boosie's gay. I said, Boosie, he's gay. I said, Boosie, he's gay. I said, Boosie, he's gay. 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 I'm sorry. Bitch love to make a song out of nothing. Okay? Because why is you looking at this man's booty cheeks? Boosie calls out ASAP Rocky after images surface of him allegedly wearing a thong while performing on stage. This is the worst generation ever. Somebody was in my comments. And they was like, they was like, what is all this Gen X hate? And I'm like, again with y'all taking everything I say about anytime I mention y'all and say anything, that y'all go being sensitive. Like, toughen up, cookies. Toughen them cookies up before they crumble. The reason why I say that is because Boosie acts like one of them. Boosie acts like a person that was born in the 70s. Okay? He also looks like a nigga that was born in the 70s. And he just be so worried. He just be so worried about what other people have going on. And I tell y'all all the time, if you're homophobic, you're gay. It's very simple. If you're homophobic, you're gay. You're welcome. I want him to be done with this phase of his life because I'm exhausted by him. This gotta be AI, man. I know this nigga ain't got on a thong. This gotta be AI. If not, who just said they gonna start wearing thongs? Me? I told y'all, I feel sorry for the little boys in this world. When are we gonna say this is enough? Can a woman with a voice speak up? Damn. So what? Wait a minute. What you want a woman to tell ASAP Rocky about the type of underwear he wear? Okay, listen. And you know it's not all of y'all. Diva, you have the aggression, but you don't have the same mindset. Like, you've evolved. But you still give, I was left at home alone too much or something. Not for real, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I was like 12 and I was beating up grown-ass men. Like that. And I know you soft, but you know what I mean, right? And y'all all give that. Like, y'all gonna punch a nigga in the throat. I respect it. But you got to have the right mindset in alignment with that type of aggression. You know what I'm saying? And that type of like, you know, I don't give a fuckness. A lot of these niggas don't have that. They got fucked up mindsets. They sound crazy and they don't give a fuck. It's the ones who were born 1960s. They have baby boomer tendencies. This is true. The older you are, the closer you are to the boomers, the worse you are. That's why I say the ones born in the 70s. Okay? That's why I say the ones born in the 70s. Because I already, whichever ones, not as much the 80s, as much the 70s, but Boosie act like one of them motherfuckers that was born in the 70s. I'm sorry. Let me go back to reading this. We having a whole conversation. I'm sorry. When we gonna say this is enough? Can a woman with a voice speak up? Damn. This the worst generation ever. This is just sick. Rappers wearing thongs is about to be a fashion. I'm going back to sleep. The world coming to an end. Fire emoji, 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 fire emoji. And I just kind of feel like I don't even think that you was supposed to see that man thong. I don't even think you was supposed to see that man thong, bruh. The fact that you was looking though, like, bruh, at this point, he's like a caricature. He's he's satirical at this point for the like, you know, the very misogynistic, closeted gay man that wants to prove, you know what I'm saying? I ain't scared to go to jail. I ain't scared to fuck a nigga in his ass. Oh, wait, shit. That's you know what I'm saying? Like, why you keep going back to jail, Boosie? Why you like going back to jail so much, nigga? Cause you stay going back to jail. Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, I say all the time that most of you niggas is straight because y'all not in jail. And at some point, if you like going to jail, you might just be gay. And that's where you can be amongst all niggas, possibly get your dick sucked in the dark, and nobody at home will find out about it. You know? But shout out to Gen X. Shout out to y'all. I fuck with y'all. Okay? I fuck with y'all. Okay? Y'all, like, as much as like my parents were boomers, my cousins are all Gen X. And they're like my older sisters because everybody's so much, you know, older than me. All my older cousins and shit. And I love them. Like, they raised me. Y'all, oh my God. I gotta go now. Because we got a show tonight, and I got to get ready for that show. I hope I see y'all tonight. Ooh, Ladies First panel tonight, 8:30 p.m. Come through. The girls are back. Like the video. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to BondyBlue Bites. Don't forget we're going to East Africa in September. So if you want to come, okay, come on down. Literally, we are the forgotten generation. Y'all are never forgotten to me. Y'all are so iconic to me, like y'all's generation. But I don't know why people got mad because I said that y'all be over there on Facebook acting a fool. Because in my mind, as a millennial, Facebook is too old for me. And the boomers sometimes don't even know how they shit work for real. They just be posting all kind of shit. The people that actually put they mess on Facebook is Generation X. Like, because the millennials are on Instagram and TikTok, and Gen Z is on TikTok and the other shit, Snapchat and all of that. But like, Facebook is not really where You know what I'm saying? That's where a certain demographic of people are. I had to watch my video back to see what I said about the Gen X's that was so offensive. And I said it's because they be on they be on Facebook too fucking much. Also, Diva, like, you are up here. Like, you on the internet. Like, you for real on the internet. When you do this shit, like, no, we're not going. That's why I don't know why people always say, put your videos on Facebook. Who the fuck is over there but some crazy, Gen X people that don't know how to keep their business to themselves? Some old people that keep reposting AI videos and racist. What else is going on over there? And I respect my zillennials, okay? I feel like I'm old enough in some respect to say that I feel like I could be a zillennial too, like a millennial I was born latter, but I feel like because I was raised by Gen X, I do feel more inclined with y'all's generation. It's probably why I call y'all out the most, because I spend time around y'all the most. Oh yeah, no, Facebook is not the spot. But anyways, we do have a Facebook group over there on OLFP, and y'all can go get in that group. Y'all can go get in that group. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'll talk to y'all tonight. Okay, bye.